All right, I'm here recording with Somdev Devvarman. This is an honor for me. This is one of the first guys I remember photographing at UVA in my career, and it was an honor to watch him work. So welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me. I actually remember a lot of the pictures you took, and I remember some good times at UVA. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is he's joining us all the way from India. So thank you very much for working with the time difference here. This is
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, it is. I look forward to this, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, so just before we get into the picture, just tell me a little bit about, a little synopsis of what you've been doing in life since tennis has ended for you.
Yeah, so tennis. So I retired in 2016, January, um, and since then a whole lot of things have happened. But mostly the most important things are that I got married last year. Um, and we were dating for a long time, but we had an amazing wedding, and so now we've been living together for over a year. And so this lockdown period has actually been, yeah, pros and cons once again with
Right.
the lockdown period, but it's been pretty cool because we've got time to spend with each other. And usually it gets pretty busy. You're traveling somewhere, someone's always working, so it's a nice time to kind of sit down together, and so things have been good, man. Things have been good. uh, Lockdown has, I guess, been hard for everybody, especially in the sporting world, especially with tennis. Given that it's so hard to travel to America or travel to Europe from India, and it's also not safe. So in a sense, just kind of waiting to see what happens. But all in all, in a good space, and yeah, I can't complain about too much considering what's going on.
Now, have you picked up any new hobbies? I know you like music. Anything else that you've learned to do here in quarantine?
Yeah, I mean, new hobbies I wouldn't say, but I have started doing a lot of songwriting. It's something that I really love. I love playing the guitar, and not very good at songwriting or playing the guitar, but I enjoy it. And what better time than the lockdown to kind of do things that you've always felt like you wanted to do but never made time for. So yeah, it's a new process. I've started going into the ocean a lot, surfing and stand-up paddling. That's one of the safest things to do. And Chennai has a nice little spot for surfing and getting out in the water. But apart from that, just staying low, man. Just staying low.
Now, you told me you had some Dave Matthews inspiration from your time in Charlottesville. Any
Yeah,
favorite
right there,
Dave
man.
songs? I see that.
Uh, too many, too many. Actually, on our wedding day, I sang. Uh, Is it okay if I call you mine? Here on out by Dave Matthews Band from his latest album. But I mean, I still prefer his old stuff. Satellite, Two Step, Ants Marching. I think Remember Two Things. Those albums were really good, really really
Yeah.
special.
All right. Well, let's get on to the photos here and reminisce about some old times.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
All
do
right. I'm
this.
I'm gonna share my screen and we'll get rolling. All right. Now, these are some of my
Ooh.
favorite. The NCAA tournament in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I got some really good photos of you. These are some of my favorites. Do you have from college? Was there a favorite place that you liked to play tennis?
I I mean, I would say Georgia was really nice.
Yeah,
I had a good time there. Obviously, good memories there. But actually, is this from Tulsa?
I think so.
So I actually never liked playing there. I was never I I was never successful there until my last year. I remember losing even in my senior year. The only match I lost was in Tulsa at the All Americans, and I
Now
never managed to win a title. Yeah, I never managed to win a title there until my last one.
you were what, 44-1? Did I read that correct in your senior year? Is that right?
Senior year was that 44-1, and the one loss I had was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think that was at the All Americans to Travis Helgeson from Georgia.
44-1. That's pretty. I mean, has anybody ever done that before? That's impressive.
Uh, don't know, man. Don't know. It's all the good coaching. Bolin and Tony had great scouting reports every time I stepped on the court.
Let's get Boland out of the way here. Let's just talk a little bit about. Look at that crew right there.
Oh wow, that's pretty impressive, man. So Huey over there, Lee Singer, Marco Miklo. So this has to be my junior year, 2007. I'm assuming this is in Charlottesville, right? Yeah, that's
Yep.
the bench over there. There's Teddy Angelinos, Nick Meros. That's our trainer, Leah Frommer.
Yeah, that's right.
And Boland in the center. Look at Tret Huey over there.
Looking good.
Yeah, looking good, wearing oversized clothes. I mean, that was the fashion, okay? Like, it was the fashion back in the day.
Now, let's just talk. Hold on before we get into bowling. Now, did Teddy Angelinos have the best hair that you've ever seen? Like, I mean, come on, that guy had some great hair.
Teddy Angelinos, yeah, believe it or not, Matt, before we would go out to dual matches, once the doubles matches finished, everybody would kind of huddle up, just do what they had to do in a couple of minutes and then head out on court and start playing. Action began pretty shortly after the doubles. And Teddy was this guy who always didn't really care about time. Took probably 10, 15 minutes in the bathroom just using his hairband to get his hair right and wet. Oh my God, it was such a pain. But listen, whatever helped him win, man. Whatever helped him win. He didn't lose a single match at number 6 in our senior year. Him, Tret, myself, we were all the same year. So listen, Teddy, if you need to take 10 minutes in the bathroom, that's fine, man. Do your thing.
As long as you're putting up a point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about Boland and how he kind of architected that whole program. I mean, he really built it into what it is now.
Undoubtedly. Without it, Boland was everything. At least when I came in, I remember when I was being recruited, I think we were 26 in the country, if I'm not mistaken. We had just won the ACCs for the first time. And definitely national championship was something that nobody ever thought that, Virginia would kind of get. But, hats off to him, right? Because he did it. He proved it earlier at Indiana State, I guess, but not to this level. That kind of success was nowhere close to what he accomplished. Obviously national titles much later on, but, even before that, I think one of the coolest things that Boland's done is he's produced some really, really good players that went on to play on the tour. And he's got a really good track record of actually doing that. And that's very, very rare for one coach to have that many players for that many years. I think probably 6 or 8 years where he had guys, on the tour breaking 200, doubles guys breaking 50. I think that says a lot about, him as well as the team that he put around everybody, allowing us to succeed. So, unbelievable, man, Boland. He's a legend for a reason, right?
Yeah, that's right. One of the things that I thought was so cool was just the atmosphere that kind of surrounded it. It started with you guys. So just you got the band at the match and just like the number of people that would like pack into the Boar's Head or Snyder to watch you guys play was pretty incredible. And he had that vision. Like it was very un-tennis-like, to kind of create a more raucous environment.
Yeah. He did. One of the things that Boland always told us was, pressure is an opportunity. And so he would always, in practice when, especially in season, one of the things that he made us do pretty much every day, if not every other day, was compete. So we had to go, hard at each other, whether it was doubles or singles. And, in singles, you had a lot of guys pumping fists at each other in practice with your teammates. And that kind of became normal. And I think that was a really, really good environment because he used to tell us, he's like, guys, there is pressure, but, would you rather play where people care and want you to win, or would you rather play where nobody cares? And so I think he kind of, at least, having guys like Tret Huey and Angelinos, these guys love playing with people in the crowd. Sanam Singh was another one, Shabazz, if you put, we used to always joke about Shabazz because, he's such a good player on the tour as well. But if you put Shabazz on court 17, chances are that he wouldn't really do well. If you put him on center court with the crowd watching, and that's where he wants to play. Now, unfortunately, that's not how professional tennis is. But at the same time, when you can create that environment in college tennis, I think it is fantastic. And I think it's actually very special because, a lot of athletes, some of the best moments that I've had in my career And I've played in a lot of good stadiums and against a lot of good people. But the college matches are some of the better memories, because you have your whole teammates standing, your classmates standing, and in many cases your professors. And I mean, just there in an environment where everybody wants you to do really well, and everyone's cool if you fail as well. It's a very, the environment with in college athletics, at least with tennis. I know basketball and football is probably a little bit more high pressure, where there's a little bit more scrutiny. But in a sport like tennis, it's just, I mean, just a paradise if you can go out there and make the most of that opportunity that you have.
Now, you mentioned fist pump. I got a lot of Somdev fist pump photos. These are some of my favorite. What about the fist pump is tennis? Like, is that just a personal motivation, or just to kind of get the crowd or the team into it, or?
I think it's, I mean, generally for yourself, but sometimes, at least in college tennis, I mean, dude, we used to actually make fun of guys who sometimes would over cheer, because we were always like, hey, listen, you gotta have a lot of energy, you gotta stay positive, you gotta, feed off each other's energy in a sense. But at the same time, you have to still play tennis. You still have a long match, you still have an opponent, you still have to figure out what's going on, and so don't waste all of your energy just on fist pumping. And there was a few teams out there. I remember that the guys in the opposing teams would literally, every single point, after every point, they would say, whatever it was, go Pack, or go Waves, or go Bulldogs, or whatever it was. And so we just made it a point that, in a sense, if Tret or Dom played next to me, and if they looked at me and they saw that I was pumped, and they could kind of feed off that energy. And so having the right kind of energy on court was important, obviously for yourself, but also kind of to boost team morale. And then, yes, once in a while there is a little bit of showmanship where you get the crowd involved and all of that. But I guess that kind of comes with a little bit more experience.
You mentioned Sanam. What was it like to have a fellow Indian on the team with you?
I mean, unbelievable. Fellow Indian obviously was nice, because that meant, at team dinners, I had a better chance of convincing everyone to go to Indian food for dinner. So that was really good. But I mean, Sanam was one of my closest friends ever, man. Like, and the thing about him is, he's probably everybody else's favorite guy on the team.
Yeah.
So
incredible guy.
It's just an incredible guy. You always, I mean, as a player, obviously, I mean, the guy, if I'm not mistaken, was #1 in the country in college tennis at one point. Right. And great doubles player, unbelievable singles player. So you always knew, I mean, unbelievable teammate, because he was that guy on the team that, in practice, when we had to do suicides, line to line, or we had to run a mile, you always knew that you couldn't slack, because this guy wasn't going to, and so, I mean, he just always had a good energy. I mean, at least the 1 year that he was with me, I don't think he got into a single argument with even a single person on the team, which is hard to do, man. I mean, imagine you're in a team with, 12 guys and 3 coaches and a strength coach and a physio. And at some point, you're going to get into some little argument, not Sanam Singh. Yeah. So, I mean, probably one of the best recruits that Brian's ever gotten.
I tell you, that match in Tulsa when he cramped up was one of the more gut-wrenching things that I've witnessed in sports. Like, that was just brutal to watch, Oh.
Yeah, man. But
I'm sure for you too.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, for sure. At the time, for sure. But yeah, man, it just, I think that whole season before that match, maybe he lost 1 match, maybe 2 matches. Yeah. Playing 4 and 3 and 4, something like that. And even that match against Jamie Hunt in Georgia, we relied on him, and unfortunately his body didn't kind of allow him, which happens. The good thing about that is, Sanam was the kind of guy that he did the right things, he prepared, he hydrated. You know, he worked hard on his fitness and he stretched and he did everything. And sometimes in sport, the moment gets the better of you. Sometimes it's the other way around. And you know, at the time, it was one of the most heartbreaking things, obviously. But I mean, big picture, I think Virginia was really able to accomplish some good things, some great things, and Sanam Singh was a major part of rebuilding that program to what it is, and also the relationships that he's had with, you know, the city of Charlottesville, with UVA. Came back, he was a volunteer assistant, and you know, the relationships he has with Bolin, with Andres, with pretty much everybody on that team. I mean, what a special human being, and how special we are to kind of, you know, have that guy around us.
I just saw this picture, and we talked about fashion a minute ago. Now this is some fashion right here. Look at those guys.
yeah, that's me trying to have my frat look. But I mean, hey, that was the team uniform. Check out the tie.
Looking good.
But yeah, man, that was a good time. I'll tell you what. Never felt more like a celebrity after walking off a field when they've honored you, you know, on a football field, because I mean, that's special. That's special. And yeah, UVA football games are probably, I mean, at least for me and for many other UVA alums and fans, UVA football, UVA basketball, there's special moments out there. You know, they're absolutely special. And I can't tell you what game we were at right there. I can't tell you if we won or lost, but I mean, it was unbelievable walking back up the stairs and everybody giving you high fives. And yeah, man, it was a good time. That was fun. So that was probably our fourth year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This is a little more fashionable in this photo right here.
Jeez, you didn't have to pick that one out. Are you sure that's me? I don't think so.
That's not you? Ah.
No, that's definitely me. I was kidding. I'm not very proud of that picture. Hey, listen, man. Not much has changed with the hairstyle. But yeah, look at that. I mean, I guess that was at UVA.
That's
Snyder.
That's in 2011. So you must have
2000
been back for a match, yeah.
Yeah, I must have just been back for a match, and yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, I thought I had to throw that in there. Now I like the headband.
Cool.
There's some good moments in the headband. Is that your kind of your signature when you were playing to have that?
I liked it, man. I liked it, and we had some really cool gear at the time, and I asked Boland if I could get a couple. He said, if you win a couple matches, maybe. And so I said, all right, let's start winning. And then you know, so one thing is the headband. But check this out. So on my left forearm,
yeah,
you see that little orange band, right?
I do.
So that wasn't actually a part of the gear, but towards the end, I was very good friends with the kicker on the football team, Chris Gold. And so the football guys got a bunch of those, but the tennis guys didn't. And so I just asked Beep for a bunch of those, and he said sure, and he gave Tret and I those, and we thought it was like the coolest thing, because that's like no other tennis players in the country wore that. So while the headband was cool, I think that little armband that is absolutely useless was, there you go again, was a little bit more of a fashionable accessory.
It completes the, you know, it makes the look with the Nike check, and it just kind of pulls it all together, you know?
It really, and with that T-shirt over there, that little orange at the sleeve as well, it's pretty nice.
That is very
Dude,
nice.
These are some great pictures, man.
Yeah, you provided the moment, so you know this is
it's not.
Look at this.
Oh, Virginia Baylor. Oh, okay. This was also Tulsa, Oklahoma, right?
I think so.
Looks like.
Yeah.
So this match was against Lars Porschke, one of my good friends from Baylor, who was also number one in the NCAA rankings at one point. Heck of a player. So I remember that was probably one of the better matches I played all year, 6-3, 6-2. So happy with that one, tell you that.
I like those scoreboards in the background, because they you know, if you got the win, there's a good one of Tret that has the score in the background, and he's fist pumping too. So I like the aesthetics in Tulsa for photography. It was one of my favorite places. So
It was a lot of space, and then just two courts at a time. And
right,
yeah, I mean, they have a Michael D Center, right? Oh no, was that it? No, Michael
something
D
like
Case.
that.
Or yeah, yeah, good,
Here,
great venue.
you talked about how much do you keep in touch with the former teammates?
Uh, I would say fairly often. We, over the we man, communication has changed, especially for us, because we were on the tour quite a bit, so used to the traveling and used to the time zones and all of that. And we have WhatsApp groups where we basically obviously wish each other on birthdays or if other things go on, but more than that, just for banter. When somebody does something or we get a picture, and I think one of our old teammates is a coach at Cornell, so we got a picture of him fist pumping or a video of him fist pumping. So you kind of spread that around, and Tret's always on the tour, so he's doing something, or Dom, or Sanam's now at Harvard. So yeah, I mean, we're with certain guys obviously a lot closer, but generally as a whole, I would say we're a pretty tight knit group, and that's probably one of the most special things to me. More than, I mean, no disrespect, but don't really remember the details of that Baylor match like I would it's the relationships that are slightly more special.
For sure. All right, now these are some great photos here. So
The legend.
You remember that day in JPJ? Yeah.
I do remember that day. Pete was there, Johnny Mack. Yeah, man. These guys are some proper tennis players.
So now you played against some of the best in the world. We're like, you go up against Federer. Like, what's your reaction when you see that draw that you're playing Roger Federer?
Well, I don't. It's exactly like how I'm reacting to this question. I was like, I can't. But it's hard, man. Like, one part of you is really excited because you're like, well, I have an opportunity to play against maybe the greatest player who's ever played the game. And another part of you is like, well, I hope I don't get, humiliated.
Right.
And because, I mean, the guy has, gone out and beaten top 10, top 20 guys, 6'2", 6'1", or bagel. Sometimes he's bagel top guys. And also my game style, I mean, I mean, I have no idea what he's going to do with the ball at any point in time. He has so many options, and especially against a guy like me who doesn't have a big weapon, a big serve or a huge forehand to kind of throw him off. It was really hard, but man, I really enjoyed those moments, man. It was, it was special because, he makes the game look so simple.
Right.
He hits the ball in a way that you've never really seen it happen with the other players, and he does it so gracefully. But it's coming with a lot of obviously talent, but still a lot of footwork and strength and fight, because he's doing it through the course of a tournament or the course of a match, and obviously now he's getting older. So just the grace that he carries himself on and off the court, and obviously his playing style just makes him, very easy to admire. Yeah. And you get caught doing that quite often, even when you're playing against him. At least I did. The two times I played against him, he had a couple shots against me, and I was like, that was unbelievable.
Now, you played all over the world. Do you have a favorite tournament you played in, or a favorite place to play?
Yeah, I mean, certain places I really liked. I felt like I had a reasonable amount of success. I always liked playing in Washington, D.C. I liked playing in Johannesburg for some odd reason. I don't know why. It just, the few times I played in Johannesburg, I did really well. Obviously, Charlottesville was a place I did reasonably well.
Yeah, you did a little bit. Okay.
Apart from college as well, even in the Challenger, I think one of the years made the finals, could have won, but had a great match. But yeah, good memories from there. And Chennai was good because I made finals over here, won a couple of good Davis Cup matches. even in Delhi. Yeah, but few places here and there. But I mean, Matt, the honest truth is that I actually enjoyed playing at the U.S. Open. I really did. I love the atmosphere. I love the night matches, and a couple. I played on a couple of nice courts here and there. But at least when you're on the tour, the top guys are really, really hard to beat. Really hard to beat. And especially on like big courts and stuff, they're just so much better than you, and they're so much better than you physically as well, that sometimes that's not enjoyable. It just depends what part of your career you're in. Maybe you really need a win, or maybe you really need the points to make it to the main draw of the next week, or break the top 100, or end the year ranked a little bit higher. So yes, sometimes it was a pleasure playing against these guys, and sometimes it really wasn't, because playing against them meant you were probably going to lose, which meant you couldn't move further, make more money, make more points, do better in the event. And yeah, so once again, pros and cons, right?
Right, pros and cons. Now this is a classic shot right here. I mean, look at those two guys. I mean, does it get any tougher than those two guys right there?
Oh wow! I mean, if you're not intimidated by our looks right there, then you're never intimidated by anything. I actually remember that photo shoot. That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
That was for the cover of the media guide, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the two most non-intimidating guys off a tennis court, trying to pull something off that they can't. I mean, listen, we tried, and I think you did a great job.
Hey,
but I'm still not intimidated by Trent.
But I'll tell you what, though, you guys were intimidating on the court, and that's all that mattered, right?
Yeah, man, that's a heck of a shot, dude. That is awesome. That's I think Boar's Head was fairly new back then, huh?
It was very new.
Yeah, you look at all the ACC school banners at the back. So this was at the bottom over there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I don't know.
I remember doing this shoot with you.
Well, I don't know why every time we do a tennis shoot, we're like, all right, let's just dump a bunch of tennis balls out on the ground, because we did it in another shoot too.
Yeah, man, not that many props in tennis, I guess.
Yeah, but just talk about Trent a little bit. Talk about your relationship on and off the court, and he's obviously gone on to some great success as well on tour. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Trent, probably my closest friend on the tour. Also because of the relationship we shared at Virginia, obviously. But I mean, I'll talk about him as a person second, but as a player, unbelievable. I think he came into college. At some point, he was probably one of the best juniors in America, probably ranked 1 or 2 if I'm not mistaken. But when he came to Virginia, I'm not sure exactly what people expected, because there were a couple recruits who were potentially a little bit better than Trent and myself. But I think I'll say one of the better athletes that I've seen play tennis. Because keep in mind, the guy is 5'10" on a good day,
right.
with his heels on. But he's got a live wire for an arm. And a good example for that is, the guy can throw a football, perfect spiral. He can play really good basketball. He played baseball in high school. So he's one of those guys who can play a lot of sports very well. Like when we go play pickup games right now in the gym, Trent is always one of the better players. And all of us suck, but we still play with good players, and Trent's very, very good. I think in high school he might have played I think tight end, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. And he pitched as well. He was a very good. One of the best hand-eye athletes that you'll see, and a testament to that is probably one of the best hands. He has hit so many incredible shots. A lot of them have not been caught on tape, but even the few that are caught on tape, you can see how incredible his hands are. The guy can jump out of the gym. He's 5'10", and he plays like a big guy when he plays doubles. He's got a fantastic serve. Can absolutely bomb it in any direction. Great forehand, and one of the best competitors. And one of the things I'll say about Trent is, even when we go out on court now, and we're both 35. I'm 35. He's going to be 35. But even now that I've retired, when we go out there, all we do after, 15, 20 minutes of kind of getting warm, always the first ball, both of us have a competition on who's going to miss the first ball. And sometimes we'll go on for 10, 15 minutes. And I'm talking about, this is stuff when we did when we were 19 years old, 18, 19 years old. And we're still doing it. He's one of the most competitive people you'll ever meet out there. And that's why it's a pleasure for us to always be around him, because he's also one of the, he's a very healthy competitor. He's out there, he's pushing you. The one time I ran a mile under 5 minutes at Virginia, Tret Huey ran a 4:52 and I ran a 4:58. So, he's that kind of guy who, whenever we were out there, he was always pushing so hard. I think we would joke about it with the other guys, but maybe in 4 years, I don't think we lost more than maybe 8 practice sets, maybe, if that. And that's one of the reasons why we also got along so well. Every time we went out there, we always felt like, winning was the most important thing in practice, and we worked really hard on not having bad days in practice. And I think Tret got a lot of that from his dad as well. His dad was a fantastic athlete, and really pushed him the right way, pushed us the right way. And yeah, Tret's one of the most special people I know. I was very happy to be best man at his wedding a couple of years ago. He married a girl from Charlottesville who's Tret's very lucky to be with. And now he lives in Charlottesville. So I'm looking forward to being back for many reasons.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch up with him soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. Here's another shot of the balls on the corner.
Tennis balls. There you go. Man, why do I look so sleepy in every picture?
I don't know.
And this, actually, I remember, so this was at Snyder in the first court. And I remember this picture because I think you actually got a ladder that day, right? You got a ladder and you kind of went down on. But I remember this picture because the NCAA title there from Georgia, my junior year, and also we kind of coordinated to wear the exact same clothes that I was wearing at the NCAA final, and you said just wear that and then come out with the trophy. So yeah, I remember that. That was
so this was a special shoot for me because I was still fairly new at UVA and I hadn't done a cover shoot for anything, and this actually ended up on the cover of the annual report. So I believe it was this photo or one in this sequence of photos. But yeah,
sick, man.
So it was pretty cool for me to do. So yeah,
that's
special memory.
Good memories, man.
So,
and me, man. You're bringing your it's becoming nostalgic in this room.
Yeah, we're both getting old, man.
I just told you I was 35. I couldn't believe I said that.
I know. I can't believe that doesn't seem real to me that you're 35. I mean, I'm 38. That doesn't seem like I should be 38,
Yeah.
I can't believe I've been at UVA for 15 years now. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, man. Lucky you. I'm envious. I'll tell you that.
So
I can't wait to come back. Yeah. This is in front of Mem Gym, isn't it?
Talk about the titles. Talk about.
There you go. That's the clothing.
That's it right there.
A little bit superstitious, I'll say that, because I think so. On the first day of this tournament, so we had just lost semis to Georgia in the team championship, but I think they were a little bit better than us that year. So we didn't. I mean, we felt bad, but it wasn't. But the first day of the individuals, I played a guy from Notre Dame, Shiva Parbu, and pulled one out of the hat. Could have lost that match 5 different times and somehow came back and won. And Boland and Bresky were like, all right, well, now that you've got that out of the way, you can go and win the tournament. And because and at this point, there was a little bit of belief that I could do it because the previous year I had lost in the finals, but yeah, and one thing you need to learn about these two coaches is, well, A, they're both nuts, but B, Tony and Boland not as much, but Tony is one of the most superstitious guys out there, So and he passed it down to his players very successfully.
Yeah.
And you know, if we played well, we would follow the same routines. We would eat at the same restaurants, have breakfast at the same times, wear the same clothes, and you know, practice at the same places and warm up at the same times. And I think he was doing that in a sense to obviously just make us feel comfortable with where we were.
Right.
You know, we didn't have to worry about whether there were people watching or cameras rolling or the crowds were getting bigger. He's like, you know, we just focus on our things, what we're supposed to do well. And it was just a little bit of a mental trick to stay focused on things that, you know, you can control. But yeah, man, that picture for me is very, very special, because it was probably one of my probably the most favorite match that I've ever played in college.
Yeah, Athens is such a special place too. Like they love the tournament. It's just a cool place to be for tennis.
Yeah, and you know, one cool story after that, right? Probably moments after this. So I just won, right? Just won the NCAA's. Yeah. This was that picture. So probably 4 or 5 seconds after that, you know, Sheikh John Isner's hand at the net. And, you know, he invited me out to a bar in Athens. And he said, hey, man, congratulations. And, you know, just goes to say what a good guy that guy is, you know. And all his teammates as well. Luis Flores from Mexico, Helgeson, Schnag, Hunt, all of these guys. Just classy guys, you know, good guys. And they invited Tret and myself both out. And you know, nicely enough, they didn't let me pay for beer.
Yeah.
So it was good, man. It was really, really good. Good memories, because it was a great match. Somehow, I mean, I don't, you know, let alone breaking John Isner's serve. I didn't break his serve once. I don't think I got to deuce.
Wow.
You
crazy,
know,
right?
I don't think, yeah, crazy, absolutely nuts. I don't think I got to deuce. And, you know, the reason it was special, you know, it was in Georgia. It was his last match, his last college match at his hometown, and the crowd was going nuts. Everybody other than probably 4 people wanted me to lose, which is, you know, an opportunity, which is, you know, when you look back, in a sense, it's kind of what Boland and Tony were kind of training all their athletes to be ready for, you know, to play in a situation like that. And just happy that I was able to pull through, and happy that it meant something to, you know, the start of developing something really cool for a very, very special program.
So you mentioned the superstitions. It wasn't just you guys. So when I was in college, I was the tennis SID at Marshall University, where I went to school. And so we had a doubles team on the women's side, and they were like the last team in the tournament, ended up making it to the finals in Athens. So I was there, and it was like the whole superstition. We're the same outfit every day, you know. I was they actually thought I was a part of it, because I was wearing the same outfit every day. But the reason I was wearing the same outfit every day was because I only had one, because I wasn't expecting to be there more than a day. So,
yeah. Hey, whatever they had to believe is fine, man.
That's right. But
and it worked in your favor.
We ate at the same Italian restaurant every night. Everybody had to have the same food. It was just like, but yeah, so Athens has a special place for me too, because I've been there so many times, and it's a really cool town. But yeah, it's funny, the coach at Marshall, his daughter ended up going to UVA and played tennis as well. So Cassie Mercer, I don't know if you remember that name, but
okay.
So yeah, I knew her when she was like 6 years old. It was crazy. And then so that makes me feel really old. She, you know, has already graduated from college.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Well, older and wiser, man. Older and wiser.
Yeah, something like that. Let's see what else. Oh, here. I just stumbled across that one. Where is your cowboy hat? Come on.
I mean, Dom stole it, clearly.
Yeah, you left it back in.
Yeah, I mean, so so man, probably the Challenger, if I had to guess.
I think that is an actual Challenger. I think it's a
match. UVA match.
Yeah.
UVA match. Well, yeah. Hey, maybe I was. Wow, I really put on some weight in the middle of that. But yeah, look at Dino Dell'Orto over there. Tret Huey is behind him. But yeah, dude. So these were actually times that all of us, because we were on the tour, and I mean, when we're traveling 35, 35 weeks a year, sometimes more, because when you have an off week, you can't just come back from Europe. So you're taking time somewhere or the other. But so, these were times where it was super special for us to come back, especially as tennis guys during matches, because, come watch the guys. And also, I think probably at this point, the guys that were on the team were still we were probably still teammates with them at some point,
Right.
when we were in school. So we were watching Sanam and Shabazz, and, we really wanted them to do well, obviously. And, so, and then, yeah, we were just good friends with them. So this was a time when was probably really, really fun for us to come back and, watch the guys, meet our old friends, and cheer the boys, and, just kind of see the atmosphere, because at the Boar's Head, dual matches are pretty special.
Yeah. So now I'll talk about this. I had never seen a tennis jersey retirement before. How was that to be honored to come back and to get this done for you?
Yeah, I just hope there's no other Devvarman that goes to UVA tennis, man. Poor guy, he's gonna have to think of another name. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, man, I'd never seen that either. But I guess after that they did Brian Vahaley as well, who's great player from UVA, made finals, and probably I think had a world ranking career high, a little bit higher than mine, but a very, very successful player from UVA as well. Yeah, man, this was really special and a little bit of a surprise as well, because like you, there, look at the back, you see Sanam. I mean, leave what I'm holding, all right? Just because it's not the best part of the picture.
Right.
Just look at the guys in the team. It's Houston Barrick, Sanam Singh. Is that Reese Milner over there?
I believe so.
Reese Milner, Lee Singer, Shabazz, Dom, Santiago. Is that Ruda?
That's Ruda in the very end. Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, everybody else is having a laugh just as good as I am. And hey, fun fact about that, I promise you this is true. I forgot. I remember specifically forgetting to wear my belt that day.
And there you see it. And I captured it.
Yeah, because I was probably practicing with the guys, and coach was like, "Hey, we can do this," and I was like, "Yeah, this would sound great." And I got my clothes over and forgot my belt, but hey, didn't matter, man. I had a great time any which way.
It's a great photo.
It's very cool, man, and it's cool because right as you walk into the Boar's Head, you kind of see that thing on the right side as well. So
for sure,
takes me back down memory lane.
Yeah, now let's talk here. Talk the trophies. To win two, what was it like to win two? I mean, you could have won three, right? You were in three finals. Is that correct?
Yeah, but honestly, I couldn't have. The first guy was just way too good.
Yeah.
At the time, I mean, I wasn't. I mean, actually, my second year was probably my worst year in terms of my performance. But that guy was. But I did really well to reach the finals. I played really well. I was kind of getting better at the end of the season. But the guy I played was much better. But yeah, these two were good, man. You kind of put me in an awkward position because I don't like talking about matches that I've won or glory days, and
right.
But yeah, these were special, man. They were fun because I don't know. I'll tell you why. Because when I came to UVA, when I came to play college tennis, I was, not even for 1 second did I ever think I was going to win. Not for 1 second. I came in and I was like, I really hope I make the lineup. Was my first thought, and then I started practicing, and so I worked really hard because I was insecure because there was so many good players on the team.
Right.
And if I didn't take care of my stuff, they would beat me to the position. So in the beginning it was just that, and then once that got secure, it was always the next thing, and even my entire first and second year, we didn't think of NCAA titles, and it was just all about improvement and seeing where you could push your limits to in different things, whether it was the gym, which is actually one of the biggest parts of my improvement from a freshman to a senior is how much stronger I got and how much, better I was physically on a tennis court than I was earlier. But yeah, man, when I look at these two things, all I can honestly think about is a lot of gratitude for some great people who helped me along the way. And not just that, they made it enjoyable as well, you know, which is double. I mean, it just dream come true in a sense, right? You made good friends. I remember even in Tulsa, Tret and I were the number one seed in doubles. And we really wanted to win because, we were best friends, obviously. And we lost. We lost maybe on the second day to a really good team from Texas A&M. But, so after we lost doubles, and Tret could have gone home. But, he decided to stay on and hang out because he's like, you know what, last year I stayed on and he won. And so I'm going to do the same this year as well. And so, think about it, man. You could be back in Charlottesville, or you could have to spend another potentially 1 week with me in a hotel room in Tulsa. And, he chose to stay. He chose to stay in Tulsa and help me out and do whatever he could to be a great team player. And, what I take away from this stuff is all of that, man. That this is obviously very, very, very special. But, what came out of it for me was just too good to be true almost.
Now, I will say that the hair is looking pretty good in that photo there. You might be giving Teddy a run for the money.
You have to get more credit for this than anything else because you found a way to make me look good, man. And not sleepy. We both got better with photo shoots, I guess.
Now, see, I remember the first one. You were very sleepy because you had just gotten back into town, I think, when we did this. Like,
hey, guilty as charged, man. Yeah. Guilty as charged. What do you expect, man? I came back from not expecting to win this to winning it and coming back. And listen, I have to blame John Isner for that because he's the one who took me to the bar, right?
I'm pretty sure that you're actually wearing my belt in this photo.
I guess it's a tendency. I forget to take belts everywhere I go.
I'm pretty sure that that's my belt. It's either my belt or Steve's belt. One of us had to give up the belt, but
I think
that shirt might have even come from our office too. I think we had to.
It looks a little big for me, man. and I was wearing. It looks like another shirt under it. For what reason?
That might be my shirt too. I mean, it's hard to tell.
Where did you find me before you took this picture? Where did you find me? But, hey,
good times.
Good picture, man. Good times. 2007. I'm assuming June.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
end of May or June. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just. I've taken enough of your time. Let's just give me a closing statement of your time at UVA. You've kind of touched on it, but just kind of wrap it all up. Just
my closing time at UVA. What can I say? Well, I wouldn't have had it any other way. Number one, when I look back at, it's a little emotional for me, man, because I think sometimes people tend to forget, or I tend to forget as well, where I came from and the lack of opportunities I had when I grew up in India, in a sense, versus all of a sudden I suddenly had, pretty much anything I wanted to get better. But more importantly, I was surrounded by people who actually cared about me and about me getting better, which really put me in a position to grow in every which way. So super grateful for the 4 years at UVA. Undoubtedly are the most important 4 years of my life that absolutely changed everything from the way I think to the way I approach things to how I approach relationships and friendships and what I consider important in life. So obviously, I'm very happy with what I got out of it with tennis. But I think the other things for me are, perhaps a little bit more important. And so when I think about UVA and my time there, all I can think, all I can feel is a tremendous amount of gratitude.
Yeah, good stuff. What
Yeah.
I gotta ask you about this too. What did it mean to you to see the team finally break through and win the first one?
Unbelievable. I mean, I'll tell you what, honestly, we were just relieved for Brian Boland, because we were like, this guy is like, I mean, hardest working coach you've ever seen, hands down, hands down. At least I've never seen another human being work like this. I mean, to a point where it was close to insanity.
Yeah.
But we would go out for runs. I mean, I've said this story a few times, but we would go out for runs. I would go out for runs with a couple of my teammates at night. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and we would go out and we would see Boland's car in front of the office. He's making recruiting calls, or he's doing this or that, and so when you have somebody like that who's obviously given you so much in life, you want to see them accomplish the things that they've always dreamed about doing as well. And so that was the first one. But all of us always said, once he wins his first one, the floodgates are going to open. And
Right.
Sure enough, they did. And Brian Boland is an absolute legend for being a great coach. But I mean, also really, really closely affecting many people's lives. And I'm saying people, not just players, because I think a lot of guys that worked alongside him will really have a lot of fine things to say about him and the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
So, without a doubt, made a huge impact on Charlottesville, made a huge impact at UVA tennis, and personally for me, a huge impact in my life.
Yeah, you just want to, you want to do well for him. He motivated even me to be better. So,
Yeah.
And I think I want to thank you because, you helped lay the foundation for this, because some of my favorite memories in my time at UVA are these tennis, the NCAA tennis tournaments where it's such an emotional ride, and to finally, get to the top and, win it for 4 years, it's just,
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun for me, brings back a lot of great memories, and you helped build that. So thank you. And it's been great to catch up. This has been fun.
Absolutely, Matt. Thanks once again for these beautiful, amazing pictures. Nice to see Andres Pedroso over there.
Look at that guy.
Who has been a huge impact on the program. Very positively.
It's his turn now, right?
It's his turn. It's I feel like it's deja vu in a sense, Yep. But yeah, and a great group of guys at the back as well. I was never teammates with them, but Jameer Jenkins and both the Shane brothers and Julian, Domijan, Mac and Scotty Brown. Is that a massage guy? Tony the massage guy is in the corner over there as well.
So yeah,
look at
Tony the massage guy. The one year in Athens, for some reason, he set up his massage table in my hotel room. I have no clue, but all the players were coming in to get the massages, and Tony was there. Like, I don't know how my room got selected.
Yeah, you didn't pull the straw soon enough, man. Yeah. Everybody's like, no, and you probably were still like getting off the bus.
Yeah.
Anyway, man.
Well, thank you very much. This was fun. So.
Dude, thanks a lot, Matt. This was really fun. It was really fun, and I might actually ask you for a couple of those pictures. They're amazing.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. For them. So.
Sounds good, man.
All right, thank you.
Dude, really, really fun catching up, Matt. Thanks again, man.
All right, this will be out on Friday, so.
All right, yeah.
All right, take care.
I look forward to it. I look forward to it, man.
Awesome.
Nice catching up, Matt. Take it easy.
Yeah.